area of the storm where we could see some rotation form back together. So I'm just going to go ahead and put kind of a broad storm track on it, and we're going to track it off to the north and east about, again, 30 miles per hour. I need to get out, zoom out just a little bit more to get that particular amount of space here on the map. But again, it's not looking very impressive as of right now. But if we were to track this off to the north and east about 30 miles per hour, we'll call it 25 there. That's going to be in the Heath Township area about 729, Salem Township by 750, and if it were to hold together, Byron Center by 810. But what we can see here on the radar right now when it comes to the potential for rotation, if there is still any in the storm, it's going to be in that area that's now crossed 118th Avenue, still south of M89 and south and east of Finnville. It's going to be moving to the northwest of the Allegan Dam Road there and Monroe Road, eventually working its way toward M40. Switching back to just the standard radar here, you can see, again, still that kind of hook on the southern end of that cell. It's not an impressive cell, it's not a strong cell, but it's something that has rotation in that low level. And again, you can see that hook in the area of 118th and 57th Street, just to the east of 57th Street, crossing north of 118th Avenue right now.
Just to recap, if you're just joining us, we have that tornado warning which was issued at about 7:02 this evening for portions of Allegan County. It includes the cities of Fennville, moving northeast at about 30 miles per hour. The impacts from this will be flying debris, mainly because of the storm on the ground, just spinning up all of that debris, and we've had some indications on radar of that. So again, if you can get to a place of safe shelter, I would do so immediately. It looks like it's passing just to the east of Fennville, heading up into northern Allegan County. And again, as Michael mentioned, it is weakening. But again, this is somewhat similar to what happened up in Gaylord, but right now the radar echoes are not quite as impressive. Anything else, Michael, that you have seen on your radar scans here in the past couple of minutes?
Nothing particularly new at the moment. Again, when that first bit of spin came down when it was near 109th, again, you were talking about that area where there were some weak returns in there. It's kind of hard to tell from this scan, but that may be indicative of a little bit of debris in the air, but it's not the strongest signature that we've ever seen. If we go back and compare that with the velocity at the time, tracking it back again about, say, 10 minutes ago, it's in the same area where that tight rotation was, 113th and 56. But again, if this was something that did reach ground level, it was only going to be very short-lived, because just one more scan later, it's sort of raced off to the north and east and gotten just not as well organized in terms of rotation. And now we move it up to the current scan here, 718. Again, if we are going to see any type of rotation in this storm, it's going to be in this area here that I'm circling on your screen, now to the east of Finnville on M89, approaching its way toward M40. But this is very unorganized compared to some of the more severe type storms that you may see here in West Michigan. However, though, if you are in Finnville and you need to travel east on M89, give it like 10 minutes or so. Just wait this out until this particular cell moves off further to the north and east. If you are traveling north on M40 and you're south of M89, or if you're north of M89, again, hang out there too for a bit, because this storm is going to be passing through, working its way off toward 128th and 134th, likely going to stay south mostly of 134th and moving off to the north and east. I'm going to put, again, a storm track on this particular part of the storm that has that rotation potential, moving off to the north and east at about 30 miles per hour. It would be in Heath Township at 723, Salem at 744, Dorr at 755, and Byron Center by 804.
It looks like, Michael, the National Weather Service has now canceled the tornado warning. Appears that the storm which prompted the warning has weakened below severe limits and no longer appears capable of producing that tornado. So it's the trend that we have been seeing here on our radar scans, right, Michael, that it seems to have weakened below the tornado warning status. But this is a cell that still bears watching, as you mentioned, Michael, heading up into northern Allegan County. But that's typical of severe weather here in West Michigan. We'll get these very weak, very brief spin-up type tornadoes that are hard to see with the rain wrapping. So this could come into your neighborhood very, very quickly without a lot of warning. I'd just be staying very vigilant here throughout the evening. Anything else you want to add, Michael?
Yeah, just for those viewers on the southern side of our viewing area, there is another storm that's approaching Kalamazoo County coming out of north northern Illinois that's under a severe thunderstorm warning. The National Weather Service office in Grand Rapids is indicating that this was a severe wind threat that does appear to be weakening. They're not anticipating it to be severe into the Kalamazoo area, but if you are traveling south on 131 out of Kalamazoo, or if you're in Kalamazoo County, it's likely to be a gusty thunderstorm approaching you in the next little bit. And again, you got to keep an eye on those storms, especially as they come right off the lakeshore here in the next little bit. The view on screen looping over the last half hour certainly shows how quickly things can evolve.
Yeah, I was going to take a closer look and see what type of elements they've got warned for that cell, because this is for our Kalamazoo County observers, and that warning for Cass, Elkhart, and St. Joseph counties, which is just south of Schoolcraft. That warning is in effect until 8 o'clock this evening. Right now they're looking at hail and some wind with that one. But again, right now that's not affecting our particular viewing area, but it's something to keep in mind as we go throughout the early evening. Again, keep an eye on the icon in the lower right-hand corner of the screen and the crawl across the bottom for any latest weather information. And of course, you can always tweet or send us your photos and videos. You can send them and text them to 616-559-1310, and we'll put your images on the air. In the meantime, I'm Chief Meteorologist George Lessons, along with Michael Behrens in the 13 on Your Side Weather Center.
This has been a 13 on Your Side Severe Weather Special Report.